Hey guys, Joebizz34 back again, and this is another episode 2 of Movie Reviews from the Couch, where I watch movies and I review movies from the couch. This case, I'll be reviewing a movie from the couch because I actually saw this one in the theaters, and let me tell you something, I'm probably late to the game. I know a lot of people have talked about this movie already, have seen it. It's been open for about 2 or 3 weeks now, and I could tell you in one word, awesome. Okay? I'm going to give you a little background. This is Captain America 2, for the most part, even though it's not called 2 in the title. And it's called The Winter Soldier. And I'm not going to give away or talk too much spoilers for people that may have not seen it yet, for one reason or another. But let me tell you something. I grew up mainly a Incredible Hulk fan. I was a fan of the comics and the TV series. I grew up a Wonder Woman fan, mainly because I had the hots for Linda Carter. I did like Superman. I liked the Christopher Reeve movies more so than the comics. I was never big into comics. And I loved Batman, comics and movies, and TV series, even the old 60s series. I wasn't that much into Captain America. I didn't know too much about the Avengers. I didn't know too much about Iron Man, although I did like Iron Man. I was into Spider-Man, okay? So I liked Spider-Man. I liked X-Men. I got into X-Men when I got older, as far as the comics. But I'm going to tell you this, okay? Captain America was not up there for me. It wasn't my favorite. But I will tell you right now that after seeing this movie, Captain America is my favorite Marvel movie to date, okay? And that is a very strong statement, but it is true. This movie is, to me, as perfect as you can get to perfect with a comic book movie that also accomplishes moving the character forward, but also moving the overall story forward that they've been starting with ever since the first Iron Man. Robert Downey Jr. did to Iron Man what Chris Evans has now done for Captain America. I wasn't a big fan of Iron Man, but I knew about Tony Stark, and I knew that when Robert Downey Jr. was going to play him, I knew that that was perfect. And when I saw the first Iron Man, I became such an Iron Man fan, more so than ever before. And to this day, up until I had seen this movie, I always felt that the first Iron Man was one of the best movies in the series. Other than the Avengers, I would say that Iron Man 1 and the Avengers were the best of what we've seen so far. Captain America 1 was a great origin story. It was a good period piece. I liked the fact that it took place in the 40s. But at the same time, it didn't blow me over as much, I guess, as Iron Man did when I watched that. Thor, the first Thor was great. Actually, my wife, who watches some of these movies with me, she enjoyed Thor. My son liked Thor. But again, it just felt like they were kind of moving it along to just kind of get those origins in there to get to Avengers. I felt that Iron Man was really good at setting the tone. The Incredible Hulk was okay. I never really bought into Ed Norton being Bruce Banner. And although it was an improvement to Ang Lee's Hulk, I don't feel like it was a perfect match to have Ed Norton play that character, even though he himself is a great actor. And I feel that the fact that he didn't come back for the Avengers actually hurt that film even more. I kind of like the movie even less now because it does feel a little more disconnected or disjointed from the series, even though it's in that canon and in that universe. And Mark Ruffalo was supposed to be playing the same character in the Avengers. It just felt a little disconnected because of that change. And after seeing Mark Ruffalo play the Hulk, I felt that he was much better as the Hulk than anybody that played him before him. And I'm really sad. It would have been nice to have seen him play the Hulk right from the beginning. But in any case, The Incredible Hulk was okay. Iron Man 2, I liked it. I didn't think it was good as the first one. Captain America and Thor, the first ones, I thought were okay. Again, and then I loved Avengers. But I think overall, they all did their part to get to where we needed to be in the Avengers. When I saw Thor 2... recently, I was impressed. I thought Thor 2 was an improvement over Thor 1. And again, it helped further that story without hurting or getting too much into the bigger picture. This movie, what's so impressive is it made me a fan when I'm not a great fan of Captain America, but I am now, especially this guy playing him. I'm not the biggest fan of, the S.H.I.E.L.D. being a big centerpiece for these movies. I thought that the S.H.I.E.L.D. was too involved in Iron Man 2. But the writers, or whoever, the writers and the director of this movie married all those elements together awesomely. I mean, this movie is not just a Captain America movie. This movie is a sequel to the first Captain America. This movie is a sequel to Avengers. And this movie also is sort of like a sequel to the S.H.I.E.L.D. storyline in general. It really brings everything to a head. It's it takes all those elements and brilliantly combines them. So when you're watching this movie, you feel like you're watching a continuation to Captain America, you feel like you're watching a continuation to Avengers, and you feel like you're watching a continuation to the overall universe that they've established, and it all works. The Winter Soldier, he was awesome. He reminded me of the Terminator. You know, his relentless and coldness, the way he kept coming after Captain America and people of the S.H.I.E.L.D. It reminded me, I didn't get that feeling since seeing like Terminator 2. Chris Evans really, I think, evolved into his character in this movie. I think he played the best Captain America to date. He was better in this movie than he was in both, I think, the Avengers and Captain America 1. And they didn't have to rush his story this time. You know, they were able to move it along, expand on it without, you know, without it feeling rushed or just marketing for the Avengers. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, it sets the tone perfectly for what's to come. You know, so if you haven't been following this series, you basically have to really get the big picture. You have to watch Iron Man 1, then you watch The Incredible Hulk, and then you watch Iron Man 2, and then you watch Thor, and then you watch the first Captain America, then you watch Avengers, then you watch Iron Man 3, then you watch the second Thor, and then you watch this movie, the second Captain America. Overall, like I said, I thoroughly enjoyed this movie. Now, I saw this movie on a big screen, but it was in 2D. It is offered in 3D, and I would say if you could see it on IMAX 3D, great. But to be honest with you, I didn't feel like I lost anything seeing it on 2D because it was a great movie theater, great sound, big screen, and I think the 2D was fine. I think the 3D isn't really necessary, but if you have a shot to see it in an IMAX, then I would say it's probably worth seeing it in 3D in that case. But just see it in general. It's theater-worthy. Definitely theater-worthy. This, so far, gets all three. Okay, this is theater-worthy, this is rent-worthy, and this is own-worthy. Because this is a movie that I would watch over and over. The way it ties into the first movie, the way it ties into the S.H.I.E.L.D. and the Avengers and everything that came before, they are able to interweave other characters in it. You learn more about Black Widow. There is mentions of Stark Industries. I mean, all that stuff is in there, and it really brings it home. And just like every Marvel picture so far, you must sit through the credits, okay? Whether you watch it in the theater or you wait to watch it at home, watch through the credits. And I mean all the way, because what Marvel's been doing ever since like Iron Man 3 or Avengers, they have two bonus scenes. They have one that like occurs a little bit into the credits, and then they usually have another bonus scene at the very, very end of the credits, and this does the same exact thing. So don't walk out of the theater until you've seen all the credits. Again, this makes me really excited for Avengers 2. I think the next movie that's going to be in place before Avengers 2, the last movie to lead in, is going to be that Guardians of the Universe. Again, not a property or characters I'm fully aware of, but I do know that they are involved with this whole overall story. They tie into this, and they somehow have something to do with where we're going with Avengers 2 and I guess and onward. So I'm looking forward to see that now. And I'm telling you, Marvel just keeps getting better and better. And it really hurts me, it pains me to see other Marvel properties stuck in development hell or crappy movie hell with these other companies that have them, with Fox and Sony. I think Amazing Spider-Man is good, but man, if Marvel can get their hands on all their characters and do to them what they're doing with these guys, it would be fantastic. X-Men, I enjoy the movies, but they're not the same, and I do have hopes for this new one coming out. But Days of Past or whatever it's called, you know, where the young meet the old, and I know it's based on comic books, but I just feel that Marvel and Disney having sole rights of their properties are really knocking home run after home run and really are bringing it home. And this movie shows the evolution, just how it's getting better and better and better. And now I am a Captain America fan, I have to say, after seeing this. So that's it. That's my rant. Real quick this week, one movie. I guess I started review 2 because I reviewed Thor 2 also, which is also very good. The Dark Worlds. If you haven't seen Thor 2 yet, go and see that one as well. And if you can, watch them in order so you get the big picture. Thor 2 comes before Captain America 2. Okay? Till next time, guys. That's it for this. For Movies for Reviews from the Couch. I'll see you again soon. Peace out.